Today's webinar is part of a 3-session training series in collaboration with Google. We will share links to register for the next 2 in the chat feature. We want to give a special thanks to our partners who helped us market these opportunities, including the Virgin Islands University Extension Service, the Bahamas Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Para Naturaleza, and our other partners. And before we kick it over to Sixia, a little bit about our facilitator today. Sixia Divine is a technology educator, social entrepreneur, and a speaker for the Grow with Google Partner Program since 2012. As a recognized and sought-after speaker, she helps businesses and organizations use technology to connect with communities and clients with growth markets. Sixia is the author of Tapping into the Hispanic Market, Connect, Engage, Innovate. She writes featured stories for magazines like Cosmo Latina, speaks at universities, business centers, chambers, and nonprofit organizations. So without further ado, we're going to kick it over to our facilitator today, Sixia Divine.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I had no idea that you were going to be sharing my bio. That was very thoughtful of you. I was listening. I was like, wow, I really did all of those things. First and foremost, we need to acknowledge your partnership with Grow with Google. In case you didn't know, in case you're participating in this workshop for the first time, Grow with Google has now educated over 5 million people across the United States and Puerto Rico, and not only in the United States, but now we're reaching places like Dominican Republic, Guatemala, Colombia, and other places, which really reflects the power of virtual education. So if it wasn't for our Grow with Google partners, these workshops wouldn't be possible. Why? Because they have a strong and important reach among some of the communities that we're probably not able to connect with. So a big thank you to World Kitchen for all of the resources, all of the help, and all of the soul food that they're giving our communities, not only in the United States, but also overseas. So thank you so much, specifically Nicole Hoffman and Saimar Galib. We also need to thank Coleman 66 and Para la Naturaleza and TechnoServe, who have also helped to promote this workshop. All right, everybody. So like Nicole said, if you have any questions, if you're interested in sharing your location, or perhaps maybe you started a new business, we'd love to give you a shout out. So at about halfway through the session, I'm going to be looking to Nicole, so that way she can help me with those questions that you might have. And you might not have any questions at all. All right, so here's my information. I'd like to share these details. You already know about a little bit about me professionally. What you don't know about me personally is I'm a huge baseball person. I have a 15-year-old son, and he absolutely loves baseball. My ethnicity happens to be Dominican, and I'm physically located in the state of Rhode Island, although within the last year and a half, I've been all over the United States, including Latin America, so US and in other countries virtually. And there we go. There's my information. If you want to connect with me, there's my IG. The nonprofit organization I run is called Caritas Smiles. The details that I offer to people are truly an example of the tools that I've used to grow both of my businesses. Right now, I am representing Google. So all of the resources that you are getting are directly from Google, along with a little bit of sazon from the details that I have implemented in my own business. All right, so now let's dive right in. So check this out. I'm just gonna read this question. I know it's true because I'm doing this every single day of my life. So how do you typically find the things you want and need? The first thing I do is, if I have a question about something, if I'm interested in, let's say, buying a canvas or maybe a different paint, I just started doing some painting, right? The first thing I do is I go to my little mini computer, right? I know you do too, but how does this relate to your consumers or to your potential consumers, or what we like to call your clients? Now, let's look at this number. 80% of people right now, what they do is that they like to search for any products or services that are near them. Even though we're ordering any products, mainly products, not services, online, we like to get whatever products we're ordering immediately. But here's the thing, instead of us getting those products delivered to us, we're most likely to jump in a car and drive to the location. Now, this is what statistics have said. And not only that, but 60% of US consumers, okay, they think that buying online and picking up in the store or a curbside will be a beneficial way for them to shop even when there are no restrictions, okay? So these numbers, they truly vary, but here's the thing I want you to think about. I want you to think about how the trends have consistently changed, especially within the past year, and think about what your consumer behavior is. I always like to say, right before you start writing your marketing strategy or your growth strategy, it's hugely important that you understand the content and the behavior and the trends of your consumers, okay? So as we dive into the content that I'm gonna be sharing with you and all the tools, it would be important for you to really understand what phrases, what keywords, what details your potential consumers are using to get in touch with you. So I have here a very quick video that illustrates what we go through as humans, what we go through as consumers, what we go through as potential clients. So let's take a listen on this video that illustrates these moments of need and micro moments.
This past year had many challenges. People have learned new things, like how to make any situation work.
I'm sure you're ready for this.
How to keep going through tough times, and how to stay in touch while far away. Now, the small businesses they love are ready to welcome them back. It's time to find great places to gather and celebrate.
Oh my God.
To refresh and renew. See each other in person again. And explore new connections.
Coffee shops near me.
Now that your doors are reopening,
Hi, good afternoon. How are you? This is the part that you tried to cut? Okay.
people are looking for places in their neighborhoods and communities where they can enjoy special moments together again. They're hoping to discover new favorite spots so they can create new memories with people they love.
This is a good client.
How are you? Good, nice to finally see you in person.
So when they're searching for you, and you, and you, be there with a little help from Google.
Awesome. Google always puts together, give me 1 minute. Google always puts together these videos that truly illustrate the humanizing of growing a small business. And I think that we've learned so much within this past year, especially as it relates to the content that people are using, the questions that people have, and also how to develop your product and service where you're able to present it in a way that's open and also in a way that's easy for others to take action. And when I mean take action, I mean sharing their credit card details and buying something from a local business. But the question is the following. So you have a product, you have a service that you're looking to share with your community. How can you optimize what you have to share among your potential consumers? So check this out. This is going to be the agenda that we are going to go through in exactly 45 minutes. And I promise that I'm going to give you as much information as you need. And by the way, you will be getting the full PDF presentation of this workshop along with a video recording. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is very quickly, I'm going to talk to you about how Google search works and how the power of content is really going to help you get found and also optimize your platform as it relates to your Google business profile. Then I'm going to talk to you about how to reach customers with search engine optimization. So on a high level, we're going to go through what is search engine optimization, and then I'm going to give you some resources for you to use. Then the third thing is we're going to talk about what is a Google business profile and how you can get verified and how you can get your business listed for free on Google. And then this fourth thing we're going to be talking about is I'm going to show you how to create an advertising campaign. Okay. Now, this is where if you're ready to invest your funds, you should definitely take action with creating advertising campaigns. But the first, second, and third part of this presentation, it's all free 99. Okay. This is all information that you should be implementing. But and then here, what I've done is if you're ready to get started with Google advertising campaigns, I've included a special Google ad coupon with a value of 150 Google ad dollars, which is there's going to be a special code at the end of this presentation if you're ready and interested in getting started with creating Google ad campaigns. All right, with that, let's move forward. So the question is, how does search work? Okay, we saw that awesome video that Google put together, which was very much humanizing. So here we have an example of how search works. Let's say that somebody is interested in visiting the, let's say, Virgin Islands, okay, or the Bahamas, and they want to go to, let's say, I'm a huge coffee person, so I love to visit local cafes. So a question that I might ask Google is the following: local coffee shops near me. We actually saw it in the video. What happens is when you are physically located in a place, Google, okay, will ask you, okay, what location are you in? If you have some security settings, you can update those in the settings area depending on what phone you have. So, and then that way Google can figure out and aggregate the details. So, and then that way it could find locations near you. If you don't have that feature in settings, you can go ahead and update that. But let's say I'm traveling to another country or even another state, and I type in the information, okay, coffee shops near me. I'm definitely a coffee junkie. I'm a huge Bustelo person, but again, I like to support local businesses. Now, here are some details that will come up as soon as I ask Google my question. I have some text ads that will come up with the keywords that I have listed or that I have typed or maybe that I have set in the Google search bar. So where it says text ads, this means that the business has created an advertising campaign with keywords that include coffee shops near me as an example. Okay, so this is why you're probably going to see advertising campaigns. And if it says AD, if you click on that little link, it means that the business who's created that campaign will get charged when you click on that. Now, underneath here, you'll get a list of a bunch of other results that will not have the word AD, that will not have the word ad. This is what we call organic results. And this is what we are striving for, people, okay? We want to add as many keywords in our website or on social media platforms that illustrate what we have to offer. So organic search results will have the words coffee shop near me, and then it'll probably have some other complementary words. Now here on the right-hand side, this is what we call a business profile. I know it's in black and white, but this is just a template of what a business profile looks like. And we're going to talk about that. This is when a business has been verified and Google has posted that business for free. Now, folks who have a verified and claimed business, they can share videos, they can share photos. You can also read and respond to reviews, and you can also add postings. And by the way, you can also sell products here using this business profile. Or better yet, I'm going to rephrase that. You can post products that you are selling in your business profile. Let's move forward, okay? Now, as it relates to search, very quickly, what happens behind the scenes? So Google downloads a copy of the web, okay? The web is humongous, and it scans it when somebody has a question about coffee shops near me. And then what Google does is, I like to call it Google spiders, okay? In Spanish, I like to say las arañas de Google, okay? But anyway, these spiders, they connect with the content that people are using in the search engines, and then they create a connection as quickly as possible, which is why they catalog the information. So, and then that way they can give you the results quickly. And then Google ranks the information to show the most useful results. Now, how does this relate to us growing our business online? This means that if you have the right content and the right phrases that your potential clients are using on your website, then your site will be optimized. And then the chance of somebody getting connected when they're adding in those keywords to your site is really high. Okay. Now it won't promise you, okay, that your site will be on the first page, but at least it will help with search engine optimization, which we're going to be talking about in just a minute. Okay. So here we go. Search engine optimization. Let's talk about that. Okay. So as we talk about organic search results in Google, the information will show up here. So make sure that if you already have a website and you want to see what kind of phrases are being used to connect with your website, I'm going to give you a tool to help you do that. But even before you do that, it would be important for you to see what page you come up. Okay, maybe you can think of, about your ideal client and how they're using their phrases and those keywords. Okay, so anyway, the page changes to show the most relevant results for each searcher. Okay, I can't stress the importance of content. So there's a phrase that we use that goes like this, and you've probably heard it. And it says, content is king. I'm just like, why is content king? Content should be queen. But anyway, it's an old phrase, and it just illustrates that content as it relates to reaching your consumers is powerful. And when I talk about content, okay, content comes in three forms. If you've come to my other workshops, I always like to highlight this. Content is text, content is video, and content are photos. When you save any videos or any photos that you're going to be uploading to your website, make sure you add the name of whatever that photo illustrates and the name of whatever the video illustrates along with your business name. Because guys, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to help with your SEO, search engine optimization. Let's move on. Okay, so here, this is an example of some results that might come up. Now, very quickly, what is SEO? Okay, and the powerful tools as it relates to SEO. Okay, so the first thing is search engine optimization will make your website more visible. Obviously, if you're adding the relevant content to your site, it's going to help. It'll also help you connect with customers. I love this, okay, because if it weren't for our clients or our customers, then guess what? We wouldn't be in business, right? And then here, last but not least, increasing potential sales. Okay, so this is what SEO does. It helps you reach your goals. Now, right here, this is Google's search engine optimization starter guide. Okay, what I'm going to do is just real quick, I'm going to leave this presentation right here and I'm just going to copy it. I know that you guys are seeing my notes, but I want you to take a look at these details right here. Because if you're just starting out with learning about search engine optimization, please take a quick read. I'm going to show you what this looks like because I found it to be extremely relevant. Google has put out a bunch of free resources and you could use this, okay? It's a step-by-step guide on how to use search engine optimization, okay? Not only that, but it also talks about indexing your website and how to do that, okay? And also how crawling works. Crawling is the spiders that we just talked about when somebody adds those keywords and phrases, how those work, etc. But here, it gives you some additional reading material for you to grasp and understand, okay? So the reason why this is important is because it really helps out with content. There are other tools and resources that I'm going to share with you, but take a look at the starter guide. So then that way you can add it to your library. Okay. Now, of course, content is king. So publishing great content is going to be important. Using page titles, okay, as it relates to the phrases that your clients or potential consumers are using, okay? And then, of course, on your website, we had a whole presentation on how to create a usable website earlier in the week. And by the way, as part of this series, we're going to be offering, I believe it's going to be in November or in December, we are going to be offering how to use your website to reach more clients, okay? And so one of the number one things that we talk about is when you're creating your website, making sure that your platform is organized to make it easier for those web crawlers for those arañas, okay, for those little spiders, to grasp the content and to reach your site, okay? So now let's talk about these areas along with some very useful tools to help you figure out what key phrases and content you should be using on your websites, okay? All right, here's a platform called Google Trends. With Google Trends, you can see what words and phrases are popular, okay, on Google. So you could see what's trending. You could also segment that information and you could figure out where in the United States, or perhaps there's a specific segment that you're looking to target. So you could do a quick comparison of keywords, and then you could figure out which ones are most popular. So then that way you could add it to your marketing campaign and to your website, okay? You could also compare the popularity. You can see how search patterns, how they change over time. And then you could also research keywords for your website and monitor the brand's popularity, okay? So in this quick example, let's say that you own a tea shop and you wanna do a campaign on boba tea. So you type in boba and then boba tea, and then within the United States, within the past 12 months, and then Google gives you an example of what is happening currently with those keywords. Just real quick, I'm gonna go to that platform because I'm a hands-on person and I wanna give you the best experience for today's workshop. I'm gonna go to Google Trends, which by the way, it is absolutely free for you to use and to do research. Give me 1 minute, Google Trends. You will be getting a link within the presentation of Google Trends. So this is a platform and this is what it looks like, okay? So as I scroll down, automatically, Google tells me what is trending right now within the United States. So Halloween is hot, WNBA is very hot, Joe Rogan, I'm not sure why he's trending, Alex Murdaugh, I don't know why, but anyway, you could take a look at what is trending. And not only that, you can take a peek at all of these videos, which illustrate what Google likes to call a year in search, a year in review. And these videos are really inspirational, and Google has aggregated the key search phrases that people have used throughout the year. If we have time at the end of the session, we'll play that this last video for you. If not, check it out on your own. But just real quick, let's do a quick comparison with boba, okay? Bueno, ahí dice boda, but it's boba. Okay, so boba, let's say that you're looking to promote this kind of tea. Boba is a kind of tea. So I wanna see how this search phrase is doing in the United States, okay? I could also change it to another country, another city, another state. But I'm gonna compare boba with boba tea, okay? Boba, okay, boba, and then boba tea, okay? So now I have these two. So now within the United States, within the past 12 months, check this out. It's telling me that if I want to use boba or boba tea, I should use the word boba instead of boba tea. And so it gives me details here and it lets me know within this platform how many people have been searching, okay, within the past 12 months. Now, if I want to change it from the United States, let's do Puerto Rico. Let's see if in Puerto Rico they're searching for boba or boba tea. Let's see. It looks like they are. And guess what? It's almost equal. So based on this information that I have added, it's telling me that I should be using either boba or boba tea. But how about if I just use the word tea? It's super, it's very general. It's probably going to change and it gives me a different kind of view, okay? So within Puerto Rico, people are using the word tea more than boba, more than, oh, I used bubble tea as an example, okay? If I wanted to change the time frame, I could go and I could say, well, you know what? I want to see within the past 5 years what has been happening. I'd like to change it up. Why? Because this last year has been very irregular and volatile. So then the trends are also going to be changing. So I want to see within the past 5 years what the trends are. And then let's see, oh, so now I get deeper details, okay? So there you have this information. And then if you wanted to remove a specific phrase, you could do that. And then Google will update the information, okay? So there you have it. And sometimes you'll also get, well, compared breakdown by city. It doesn't give us a lot of information, but if I wanted to do worldwide to see how many people we're searching for the phrase, I get this information. The more specific you are with the segment, the better it is. You could also use Google Ads keyword search, okay? And that's also a free platform that you could use. And once you use that it's a Google keyword search, okay? And you have to get it through your Google Ads campaign, which we're gonna be talking about a little bit later. You can add in the different phrases, and then Google also gives you some complementary phrases or other phrases that you should be using as it relates to your product and service. Anyway, enough about Google Trends, because we have some other resources that I'd like to share with you. And then we're going to see if we have any questions in the chat area or in the Q&A. Okay, so now here's an exercise that you can do, not right now because we don't have as much time, but tonight or tomorrow morning, what you want to do is go to Google Trends, enter words or phrases related to your business, narrow down the results by location, and then you can adjust the date range, and then you could see what kind of details come up, okay? The other part about Google Trends is they will also give you some complementary phrases that you might not thought of. When we did the example with boba tea and tea, it didn't come up because sometimes the information or the analytics or the data haven't been supplied, okay? But anyway, go ahead and do this. It's a really good exercise to get you thinking about the content. All right, so now these three platforms right here, as it relates to design and usability, are going to be essential to helping people go to your website and even visit your location or even make a purchase on your site. Number one, we are impatient. We want things now and we want them immediately. You're probably thinking to yourself, Sixia is giving a 45-minute presentation and already can you just get to the point? Well, I am, and I have been giving you some resources, but guess what? We live in a world where we need the information quickly. So fast load time is gonna be important, because if not, if somebody hits your website and they're there for more than 3 seconds, yep, 3 seconds is a lot for a lot of people. They're gonna be there, and if it goes to 4 or 5 seconds, then they're gonna skip your site and go to somebody else's site, okay? This other point right here, your site should come up on all browsers and devices. Now, this has to do with the kind of website that you are building. If you're working on a WordPress or a Wix or a Squarespace, these platforms are really popular, so they will show up very easily on your mobile device or on an iPad if that's what your consumers are using to find you, okay? And then, of course, using the following resources that I'm going to give to you to help optimize your search, okay, when folks are looking for you. Let's take a look at this platform, which is called Test My Site. If you already have a website, you can go to g.co/test my site. You can copy and paste the website in here in this tool, and Google will tell you how many seconds it takes for somebody to get your website or for your website to upload, okay? So you can measure the speed. You can also get customized recommendations to improve the speed of your site. And then you could also get specific reports, okay? Many times, if you're working with a web developer or a marketing agency, they will send you these reports. You can get these for free using this platform, okay? So go ahead and test that out. You don't have to do it right now, but I like this platform just to make sure that my website is coming up quickly. So then that way people won't leave and go to the next link. Okay, this next resource is called the Google Search Console. This here, if you are just creating your website, or if you are in the middle of, let's say, redesigning your site and you're like, all right, I saw Sixia, the Google speaker, and she told me about content and content development. Why isn't my site coming up on Google? Well, it's probably because you haven't added your website in the indexing of Google. And the way that you do that is on the Google Search Console. Not only that, but you can also get details on whether or not your website is coming up clear, or whether or not your website is broken. If you have a broken link, if there's issues that are happening on your site, or even if your website isn't coming up on Google, the Google Search Console will let you know what is happening. And then you'll also get recommendations on how to fix those things. So this is how Google and all of the customers or potential viewers are looking at your website. So take a look at this, okay? And make sure you sign up. I mean, you literally, well, when I say sign up, all you have to do is you sign in with your Google account, and your Google account is your Gmail and your password, and Google saves those details. So anytime you go to the Google Search Console, then your information will be there, okay? So anyway, you have that free resource. And then here's something you could do, again, not right now, but on your own. This is activity number 3. You're going to go to google.com. You're going to search for words and phrases that should surface your business in the search result. And then if yes, you're going to see what text appears. How's it look? This exercise is very similar to the other exercise on Google Trends, but you could take a look how your information and how the links are showing up on Google search, okay? So there you have it. Now, let's talk about how to create your business profile. And I'm just being mindful of the time right now. What I'd like to do is, let's take a quick 2-minute pause. Let me see if we have any questions. Let's see if we have any questions, or if anybody would like me to review something very quickly, because we still have to go through creating your business profile and Google ad campaigns. So, Nicole?
We've got one question, Sixia,
Okay.
and in terms of content, is it better to use photo or video on your website?
That is excellent. So my response is the following. You really have to understand who your segment is, meaning who your consumer is. So as an example, let's say that you are looking to, I'm going to use the example of tea just because it's come up. If you are introducing boba tea, okay, and your segment says that it's millennials between let's say the ages of 18, specifically between the ages of 18 and or 20 to 32. That's going to be your segment. And studies show that they're probably more interested in seeing a quick video instead of looking at a photo. If that's the case, then I would definitely add more video to your website, or perhaps even start a YouTube channel or create an advertising campaign around video. Although as far as content goes for pictures, okay, you should also have photos. And when you save those photos, just make sure you save that content with the name of whatever it is. If it's tea, make sure you save it boba tea and then the name of your business, because that's going to help with optimization. But once you understand who your consumer is and their tendencies, then it's going to be easier for you to determine whether or not you should be using video. Although we also say that YouTube and people getting details on YouTube, is significantly high compared to photos. Again, it really depends on the segment. If your segment was, let's say, 55 plus, and perhaps it was individuals who weren't interested in looking at videos, but instead they were interested in reading text, then of course you would have more text, which is also content sent over to that population. So it's not a specific, hey, you need to do this. You really need to understand your segment. Does that answer your question? Do we have another one?
That's all for now.
Okay, awesome. All right, everybody. So now let's jump to how to create your business profile, okay? So a business profile, as we looked at earlier in the presentation, it looks something like this. So it's in black and white, and this is a free business profile that helps you share photos, videos. People could also read and respond to reviews, and not only that, but they can click on to the directions button and drive to where your business is. And the other thing is too, if you have a home-based business, and let's say that you offer services from your home office, maybe you're an educator, you're in real estate, you can also claim and verify your business profile. Now, this is the way you get started with this. You're going to go to this address, which is google.com/business, and you're going to go to where it says sign in. Remember to use, when you sign in, use the Gmail address and your password, okay? For a lot of folks, they ask me the following question: is it better for me to use my personal Gmail account or perhaps to create a new one? I would probably keep my Google account separate. So I would create, if you're just starting with working on a business profile, create a new Gmail address. So, and then that way it can be separate from your personal. The other thing is too, is sometimes people have really funky Gmail addresses. So I give this example to some of the folks I teach in Puerto Rico and in Latin America. If you have an email address that says mamichula123 or platanopower231@gmail.com, that doesn't reflect a positive brand unless you are selling plantains, because platano means plantains, right? But anyway, whatever email address you have should illustrate your business, okay? And you can also, if you're interested in getting a free account, a free business account, here, I'm gonna share with you the link right here, because a lot of people are like, well, how do I create a free business account? So I'm just gonna, let me get you the link right here. There we go, where it says create your Google account. Again, a Google account is basically, I'm going to share it in the chatting area with everybody. So a Google account is basically an email address that you use to log in to your Google platform, okay? So now let's continue here. So you go to this address to create your business profile, sign in, and then it's going to ask you to complete your business information, okay? You could add photos, you can add videos, you can also add bookings, okay? So if you are, let's say, running a hair salon or a consulting business, or if you want people to call you before they get to your spot, you know, you can add this booking button. And the way you do that is you connect with a third-party integration platform, and Google will walk you through that whole process. So Calendly is an example where you could just cut and paste those details in your platform. Okay, so now let's move on. Another feature that Google has now implemented is the following. If you want to make any changes to your business profile, you could do it right on the search platform, okay? So when you log in, and I'm gonna show you what that looks like in a minute because it's something new. And anyway, it might be much easier for people to make any edits, to add postings, and to optimize their business profile, okay? Here are 3 things you could do. You can add postings on your business profile. You can read and respond to reviews, and you can also copy a review link where you can share among your network via social media or via email or even texting. And then we also have this new button, which is a messaging button. Okay, so let's say if you know and understand that your segment doesn't enjoy picking up the phone and calling people, that your segment, your market segment, they prefer to send a text message, you might want to add that button to your Google business profile, okay? So here are the steps to getting your Google business profile. We also have a full presentation on how to do this. As a matter of fact, during our next session, I'm going to walk you through how to claim and verify your business, okay? So if you go here, google.com, you're going to claim or complete your business profile. Then what happens is you're going to request a postcard, and that postcard has a special code on the back of it that you are then going to add to your business profile to confirm that you are a real person and you have a physical location. And then once you get it, you add the verification code, and then your business is now verified. Just real quick, I know that there's probably people who already have a business profile. If I go to, I'm going to show you what the business profile looks like. I'm just going to go to my business profile. So as you can tell here on the right-hand side, this is where I'm located. And by the way, I don't like to share my physical address. So if you, in this moment, if you're doing work from your home office and you don't want to share your physical address, there's a place where you can hide your address, okay? Now, further down here, it gives me some details about some actions I could take, go to my website, save or call, etc. And supposedly I'm closed for right now, but I'm still working. And then here, if I wanted to, check this out, if I wanted to add products, okay, to my Google business profile, I could come here and I could add any products that I'm interested in selling or promoting. So I'm going to click that. And then earlier today, I had another presentation where I just started creating art and I'm selling it, but I'm using this as an example. If I wanted to add a product, I would click here, and then I would go through all of these steps, add the product name, select a category, show the price, add the product description, and then I can select a button. What happens is that Google typically takes about 24 hours for you to get confirmation on this event. So you see where it says not approved because I just added it this morning, okay? So anyway, I get those details and I'm just gonna go back here so that way we can see some other things that have changed as it relates to the business profile, okay? If I wanted to, let's say, add other kinds of postings when I click promote, this is right on the search platform, okay? I can click, if I want, I can add photos, I can ask for reviews, okay, on my Google business profile. I can add an update similar to social media sites like Instagram and Facebook. I could add an offer with a coupon, or I can add an event. So you could do all of this once you are logged in to your Google account, okay? Before you had to log into your dashboard to make those changes, but now Google has made it a little bit easier for you to get access to all of this. Now, these are some of the events that I have held. And so again, this helps with search engine optimization, okay? Again, we have a full presentation on that during our next workshop with World Kitchen. Okay, so now let's move on. Now we are hitting our final step of this presentation. This is where you can begin to create advertising campaigns using Google. So I just shared with you all of the free details. Remember, I said, listen, free 99 is definitely the way to go. Whatever is free is for me. Take advantage of content development and all of those resources before you dive into investing funds into Google advertising, okay? Although we know and understand that it will help you get in front of your potential consumers. Let's take a look at how to create an advertising campaign together, okay? So here we go. This is how Google Ads can appear, okay? So Google Ads can appear up here. You can also, okay, there's different photos that you can also add to campaigns. As it relates to creating Google Ads, you can control your ads and budget. You can also figure out what days of the week are most popular when people are visiting your shop or looking to buy something. And this really, it illustrates the power of understanding the demographics and the trends of your consumer, okay? And here, to get started, you go to g.co/ads, okay? Once you do that, it's going to take you to this platform. It's going to say, okay, let's start to create your first Google ad campaign. So you're going to click to where it says start now. And then this is the Smart Campaign checklist. Now, if you've created Google Ads in the past, you were probably in expert mode, which means that the Smart Campaign user interface was different. Now, as soon as you log into your Google Ads platform, Google has simplified it where automatically, when you start to create ad campaigns, it simplifies the process for you. Now, if you want to get more advanced in creating your advertising campaigns, on the bottom, it says switch to developer mode, or it might say switch to expert mode. It's either going to say expert or developer mode on the bottom, okay? But to simplify, the Smart Campaign platform works for me. And if you're just starting to use it, it's also very beneficial. So first of all, your first step is decide what your goal is. Okay, remember, you're just creating one campaign to get started. You should create several different types of campaigns to see which ones are most popular, okay? But to get started, create one. Then you can connect your business profile, or if you don't have a Google business profile just yet, you could just enter your business information. Then you identify or create a relevant web page. That's where you want people to go when they click that when they click the link to the campaign. Choose the key themes or keyword themes and locations on where you want them to appear. And using this platform, the Google Smart Campaign platform, they give you a list of suggested keywords already based on the details that you have given them. Then you can set a daily budget and then you go ahead and launch, okay? So let's take a look, okay, on creating a campaign using the Smart Campaign feature. So you're gonna click on, let's say your goal is to get more website sales or signups. You wanna get more people online to make a purchase. You're gonna click to where it says, get more website sales. And then here where it says, it's gonna ask you, do you have a business profile? If you already have a business profile on Google, you're going to click yes. If not, you're going to click no, don't use this info. And then it's going to ask you for the business name. From there, your website, make sure you include your website, okay, the homepage of your website, not the website page that you want people to go to. And then from there, it's gonna show you what people are going to be looking at. It's gonna give you a view of what your advertising campaign looks like on mobile and what it looks on desktop, okay, what it looks like on desktop. And then now this is where you start using the content to create the text for your campaign. And then here, some keywords are going to be popping up. These are going to be the keywords that Google are going to give you based on the details that you have given them already. But you can also jump in and you can edit some of those words because maybe those words aren't relevant to your business. So you can go ahead and you can edit those. And then it's going to ask you if where you would like the advertising campaign to show up on a local level. So you can click advertise near an address, you can add a specific address, or advertise in a specific zip code, city, or region. And then it's going to finally say, well, how much money do you want to spend? Okay, it's going to give you some suggestions, or you can click where it says enter your own budget. Let's say that you're only interested in spending $1. You can spend $1. And then Google is going to say, well, based on the information that we've gotten, it's going to let you know what your reach is and how many people you're able to connect with using $1. Okay, here's the thing. If you set your budget to $1 and nobody clicks on your ad, Google's not going to charge you. They're only going to charge you when somebody clicks on that campaign. Okay, so next here, you're going to review your ad and campaign info. And if you like, I like to do this, you can edit or pause your campaign at any time. So let's say that you're not working on Sundays or Mondays, you can jump right in and you can edit those details. So and then that way you will not get charged. So now what? Okay, so now you can create ad variations, which means that you can copy the successful ad that you have created and then you can edit it, okay? So you don't have to go through all the trouble of creating a brand new advertising campaign. You can copy and then you can edit it, right? You can also add negative words. You can schedule ads, okay, to appear depending on when you know your segment is connected. More details on understanding your demographics is going to be helpful. You can connect this to Google Analytics. Google Analytics is also a free platform which helps you figure out where your visitors are connecting from and also what keywords they are using. You can pull reports from Google Analytics, but you do have to connect a special Google Analytics code to your website. So then that way Google can collect those details for you, okay? We also have another full presentation on Google Analytics, which is a lot of fun. You can monitor performance and then you can edit and pause at any time. So now we're reaching the end of our session. Let's do a recap and give you resources. Okay, there are 3 ways that you can appear on Google: through paid campaigns, which is text ad, organic results, which is that content-rich platform, or on your business profile, okay? These are all of the resources that we talked about today: Trends, Test My Site, Search Console, Google Business, and then ads for you to create, okay? Again, if you are here and as part of this presentation, you will be getting the full PDF version of the session, and you are also going to be getting the video, the recorded version. So here we go. Here are more resources for all of you. So you have this, and then you have another full page of resources. You could also take additional classes online if you want. Many of them are recorded. This particular session is a live session that we are doing with World Kitchen. All right, everybody. So, here's this last resource, which is called Grow on Air. This, it gives you some details, basic workshops on fundamentals of online marketing, power your job search if you are looking for, let's say, another job, etc. We do have a full series of how to get jobs using Google tools. That's going to be for another day. Today, we're focusing on growing our business. All right, so now I am going to stop sharing my screen right now. And let's see if we have any questions. Nicole, any questions that might be, let's see. Oh, awesome.
One question
Okay.
that popped up, and it is, what is a negative keyword theme?
Oh, awesome. Okay. So an example of a negative keyword is the following. Let's say that you are selling spices, and the spices are from, let's say, different parts of the world. But when Google comes up and when the Smart campaign gives you suggestions, or anybody gives you suggestions, the word Spice Girls, which was a dance group, might come up. So what you want to do is you want to add a negative to girls. So that way, when you're aggregating all of your keyword content, people are not clicking on your site when Spice Girls come up. So that word girls, you have to add it as negative. So and then that way the word girls will not show up on your campaign. And there are different examples. That's the one that came up automatically. But that's a really good question. So any words that you don't want to show up when people are searching for your product and service, you're going to add a negative to. And so that's what that's called. Oh, good. Awesome question. A lot of great info, says Ambi. Nice to see you.
So we still have about 5 minutes. If anybody wants to drop any questions or any lingering doubts in the chat or in the Q&A, please let us know. We'd be happy to answer them. We can give, a couple more minutes to see if anybody has a question.
Awesome. Remember, you are going to be getting the full presentation and the recording. And our next event is scheduled for when, Nicole?
So our next event is Get Your Local Business on Google Search and Maps, and that's going to be on November 4th at 5 o'clock. So we're happy to send the links to register to that as well. And Make Your Website Work for You is going to be held on December 2nd at 5 o'clock as well. And I'll go ahead and drop both links to register for those webinars right now in the chat.
Awesome. And all of these workshops, they all work together. So if maybe you haven't created your website just yet, or you're in the process of redeveloping your website, or there's a word that's out there, reimagining your website, you can always go back and take a look at the recordings and look at the PDFs. I'm real excited that we're able to offer the recordings because a few months ago, we weren't able to share the recordings with everybody, but because you're part of this network, we're happy to send those along. Okay. And with that said, I'm running another workshop. Let's see, and in New York virtually. So I am going to log off, but I'm going to leave Nicole here with you, and she's going to send along if you have any additional questions, I'm happy to answer those for you. I don't act as support for Google. I am an educator for Google, but again, if you have any questions, I'll do the best I can to help you out. This has been fantastic. I'm so happy that all of you have made the time to be with me this afternoon. I know that 1 hour sometimes could be a little hard, but you know what? You made it and you're here. Now it's time to put all of those resources and everything that I just talked about into action. All right, everybody, take care. Nicole, thank you so much. Saimad, thank you so much. And we will see you in November. Bye.
Bye. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for this session. We had a great time hosting you all, and it seems like there was a lot of learning that happened. So we look forward to hopefully seeing you on the next ones, which just one more time are going to be held on November 4th. Get Your Local Business on Google Search and Maps. And on December 2nd, Make Your Website Work for You. We've got both up on the chat right here, so you can go ahead and click those. And as Sixia said, we will be sending out a link with the recording and the presentation. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us, and I hope you have a great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.